Having been recognised as the longest river in the world for many years, the Nile stretches 6,695 kilometres. Located in northeast Africa, there has been much debate over this accolade, however, as some scientists argue that the Amazon River in South America is longer. We will not get into that argument either way, but as we join our friend here sailing his felucca, we can see just how magnificent this river is. The Nile is often associated with Egypt, given the references to it in the Bible and other historic records, but in fact it flows through 11 countries. Tanzania, Uganda, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Rwanda, Burundi, Ethiopia, Kenya, Eritrea, South Sudan, Sudan, and of course Egypt. This mighty river has two main tributaries which meet to form the Nile. One such tributary is called the White Nile, which starts in South Sudan, while the other, being known as the Blue Nile, starts in Ethiopia. These two tributaries alone measure 3,700 and 1,450 kilometres respectively. The Blue Nile and White Nile merge together in the city of Khartoum in Sudan, and from here the river continues to flow north through Egypt and finally into the Mediterranean Sea. The Nile has been an essential source of life for people throughout history, as roughly 5,000 years ago the ancient Egyptians relied on the Nile for fresh water and food, as well as transportation. It would also provide them with fertile land on which to farm. But we might all ask, how did the Nile allow the ancient Egyptians to effectively farm on dry desert land? The answer to this is the river would flood annually, almost every August. When this occurred, the nutrient-rich soil carried in the water would spread across the riverbanks, leaving a thick, moist mud, which is just the job for crop growing. In the modern era, the Nile no longer floods each year because of the Aswan High Dam being built in the year 1970. This enormous dam controls the flow of the river to generate electricity, irrigate farms with valuable water, and provide homes with drinking water too. This fascinating river remains an invaluable source of life for Egyptians to this day, as more than 95% of the country's population depend on its water and live within just a few miles of the riverbanks. But it is not just important for humans, as the river and its banks are homes to lots of wonderful wildlife too, including different kinds of fish and birds, as well as turtles, snakes, hippopotamus, and one of our planet's most enormous reptiles, the Nile crocodile. We believe that such an incredible river is cause for celebration, and we know well that the Egyptians think so too, as each year in August they have a 2-week holiday called Wafa Anil to celebrate the ancient flooding of the Nile. This festival looks back in time at the most important natural event which allowed their civilization to grow to what they enjoy today. Until next time, thank you for watching.